Welcome everybody to the final day of the Liminaria Summer School, the 2021 edition of the Liminaria Summer School. We are so happy to introduce to you Yukiko Shikata, who is a curator working in the field of media arts and with a great experience. Yukiko, together with Aya Murakami and me, is supervising the energies in the rural project, EIR project, that is a project related with the exploration of invisible forces connected with energies, both in the Aomori Prefecture region in Japan and in Fortore region in south of Italy. We have started recently this project through an opening meeting that took place on July 11th. It was really nice to start this project with a discussion with Yukiko, with Aya, and also the both invited artists who are joining the first part of the project that are Nicola Di Croce and Soichiro Miyara. Soichiro will have a performance later today at 2 p.m. CET. It's 9 p.m. in Japan local time. And I think that Yukiko will be happy to introduce to you both the project and, of course, the Soichiro Miyara's performance. Yukiko knows very well Soichiro's work because they have also collaborated together in the past. So thank you so much, Yukiko, for joining this conversation, and I'm very happy to introduce to you to Liminaria 2021 Summer School students' attendance.
Thank you. So can I talk, or how is your how to say direction, how to proceed now, from now?
You can, of course, start your presentation.
Oh, really? So, okay, I just start my presentation. Yeah, hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. Today is the last day of July, and actually Tokyo, I'm in Tokyo and very hot. I don't know what's going on with the Olympics, but anyway, this is the very weird situation, very strange situation in Tokyo. The infected people of COVID-19 is increasing. Yesterday, over 3,000 people in Tokyo area. It's so strange. あ、待ってね。今共有してる? So I think it's okay. Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can see. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Leandro, for your introduction. And today, this presentation is with Leandro and me and Aya Murakami of ACAC Aomori Prefecture. And yeah, actually, it's a municipal center of art in Aomori City. And Aya Murakami will present her things by video. But I'm happy to start the presentation. And yes, so we had started the project titled EIR, Energies in Rural. It's a collaboration project between Liminaria and ACAC Aomori. And there are three people in charge of this, in curating and supervising, Leandro, Aya Murakami, and me. And so today I want to present some episodes in relation to Liminaria and Leandro and what we are going to seek in this EIR project. But I don't actually explain about the detail of this project, what's happening. But we started this project in Aomori and southern Italy, and inviting artists from Italy and also Japan to have a kind of residence or research project. But now, in the situation of COVID-19, it's not easy to fly to each country. So we start now only by online for this year. And in the future, we would like to start more physical communications and exchanges. So today I want to make a presentation titled Here Are Questioning Energy and Rural. Yeah, it is my episode, and I met Leandro in Naples in December 2009. Then we had the discussions, and I was very impressed by his direction and thoughts and actual activities he had been doing in the frame of Interferenze. Then I organized Interferenze Seas Tokyo, IST Tokyo in 2010 in June. When I got to know that Leandro is going to be in Tokyo, so I thought it's nice to have a good space, to hold a good space for the meeting people in the field of sound art and media art, softwares and like foods. Then I organized this festival, small festival, Interferenze Seas, Tokyo 2010. Then after 1 or 2 months, I went to Italy to have a presentation at Interferenze Festival on that year. Yeah, this is some photograph from Interferenze Tokyo, Seas Tokyo 2010. Yeah, Leandro on the photo.
Yeah, I was really young at that time. Yes.
10 years, 10, 11 years, but you're still young actually. And we had many talks and lives and also exhibitions and performances. And we have many people and we had a very good time together. And also those artists who just some of them are started to be active and now going very, how to say, active after 10 years, like this. And after that, there was the situation changed in Japan. After 1 year, there was a very big earthquake, the Great Japan earthquake, East Japan earthquake with tsunami and also a nuclear plant accident, explosion. So Japan has changed a lot after this festival, I think. And by the way, then after that, some years later, I also was invited to Liminaria Festival in Palermo 2018 and had a keynote there. And last year, the situation of COVID-19, and I realized that MMFS, a Micro Media Festival, sees 2020 to investigate the possibility of online live performances. Just after 10 years of IST 2010, also it was realized in collaboration with Domium. Domium is a very interesting communication channel by online and physical presentation based on live and also talks. And Domium also celebrated 10th anniversary of their activities. So we did a kind of good collaboration between us. And after that, last year in December, I had a presentation on Soichiro Mihara's work that was produced at the Aomori HCAC at the first Liminaria online forum in December 2020 as one of the Art and Science Advisory Board member of Liminaria. So this is a kind of brief history between me and Liminaria and Leandro. Here, I want to introduce some comments on the first talk of the ERR. This was held July 11th. This is a personal email comments by personal email. So this is something I want to show you by translating by my English. So I guess maybe Google Translation works better, but please try to understand and the contents. So discussion of ELR is very inspiring. So the way I cannot see because there are some my photo, my image was overlapping here, so I cannot read all over, but please read over. This is a comment by Katsumi Okuno, anthropologist, professor of Rikyo University. Yeah, I'm now starting, especially these 1 year, being conscious about what we can do in the age of COVID-19 and also how to push the real 21st century. And by collaborating or communicating with many people from many fields, like anthropology or geology or like spirituality, or also urban design or some other things, other fields. Another comment, also by personal email from Hidenobu Jinnai. He studied in Venezia in later 70s, quite famous person. Actually, the first commentary by Okuno, he's also very famous, but Mr. Jinnai is for a long time very famous figure, both in Italy and Japan.
Excuse me, Yukiko, this also seeing these comments from the professor Hidenobu Jinai, in some way is raising an issue, that we have discussed during the first presentation of the project, that is related with this this translation of the term rural, in Japanese.
Yes.
That is very interesting to
Yes.
discuss, and we discussed it together also with Naoki Matsuyama, who was the interpreter of from Japanese to English. And it's very nice to also to spend some words maybe on this topic, no?
Yeah, I think so. So he's also find both people think it's very similar. That from the one person from urban design or like city history, like Jinnai, and also Mr. Okuno, anthropology. They find some similarity of their issues. So we can also start to communicate with different kind of people in different kind of field. And also, as just Leandro told me and to all, the issue talked in the first talk on July 11th. One of the issue was also on the translation of rural or in Japanese, because in Japanese language we cannot find the correct word to translate from rural into Japanese. So it could be also translated into Chiriki region or inaka, like country. But rural is something very, it's not exactly fitting to these kind of Japanese. So we try to find out a new notion or words to fit rural or territorial in Italian. So the issue of translation is also very important. And we talked a lot about this kind of thing during our talk on July 11th, also after that. So I think it's a very interesting time and occasion at the EIR to start questioning and investigating the possibility of energy and rural. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yukiko, for your brilliant intervention. I don't know if someone from the audience has some questions to raise to Yukiko. Daniel, vuoi venire tu? Okay. Vieni.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Perhaps just I would like to know just something more about also the concept of energies in Japanese, so, in Japan, so in the tradition, and because we also are working here with sound. Sound is related to vibration. So, and I mean, it's also kind of energy. And perhaps it's something more in this direction related to, I don't know if there is also in your project, the idea to connect energies with Zen philosophy, or it is a suggestion for you.
Okay, thank you for your question. So maybe I can tell you in two ways. One thing on the energy, yeah, in this project, we all of us, like Leandro, I am Murakami, and me, think about energy like natural energy or also artificial energy. And also when we start to think about energy in relation to rural or rurality, there is a big difference or gap between city area and rural area. And southern Italy and also Aomori is located far from the center somehow. Not far maybe, but it's not the center somehow after modernization. Modern periods, and always when we talk about Tokyo and like other areas, especially, and for example, of course, Tokyo, there are many power plants, and some power plants have to send the electricity to Tokyo. So this kind of gap between city and local or rural area is very important for us. In Aomori, Aya Murakami also told in her talk on July 11th, and there are many power plants in Aomori prefecture area, and including nuclear plants. So this is one of the issue for us. But also there are many wind energy or like sun, solar energy things. And we also, Leandro is very much keen about this because in southern Italy, there are many wind-based, how to say, energy systems. And this is also changing the landscape and the environments. And this is on the energy. Also energy, we have to think about the Anthropocene situation, especially these 100 years, 200 years, because of the because of machine, there are many, how to say, places all over the world digging deep into the ground to get the minerals and stones to use to produce energy. And this is also the issue. And also we can start think about the human energy because we have energy. So this is the energy notion has many meanings for us. And as you told, sound is also energy, I think. Also sound or also natural energy like wind or some climate changes or any other things, waters, waves. I'm also very interested in sound from the aspect of frequencies. And as you said, this kind of thing can be also connected as an energy. And you thought about a Zen or something. Yeah, maybe not. We are not sure. But sometimes people say somehow in Japan or maybe Eastern area, we can perceive sound of insect or that kind of thing, not as a noise, but just a sound. But in some part in Europe, they perceive as a noise. So this kind of, how to say, differences between how to feel in sound or noise can be also cultural differences, but also we want to work about this kind of differences throughout this project.
Okay, thank you so much, Yukiko. Your words can also some way gather some really interesting reflection about different themes. Also, I think that sound in some way it can be considered as a critical device that leads us to let emerge what is invisible, no, in these material processes of exploitation of energies, no, and that's why also we decided to use sound as probably main medium to bring on this project. But I was also wondering, I have also a question for you. I was wondering how urgent is in Japan now the theme of energy after the Fukushima disaster? I think that it's really, really important, no? And I also could feel this urgency through reading the comments that that the participants of the first talk sent to you. No, reading these comments, I also could feel that this is really unavoidable and really important topic for your culture now. Do you agree with this idea?
So two things you asked me. So after 3/11, after 2011 big earthquake and tsunami and nuclear power accident, yeah, it's difficult because now we have an Olympic. Even it's really not no, you shouldn't do this. Somehow, in Japan, the government and politicians cannot cannot execute and how to say duty somehow ethically. And in Japan, of course, we have many tsunami or many typhoons. So always we have a culturally or by DNA so much, how to say, based on the perspective. The world is changing. A tsunami wiped away whole village, and we have to build again. So this kind of thing. It's also in our mindset, easy to forget. Even the disaster was very big. This is maybe integrating in Japanese mentality, but somehow, like after Second World War, but also after Hiroshima bombing, 1945, or Nagasaki bombing, after 3/11 and nuclear disaster accident 2011, nothing changed. Now, then after that, politicians or governments started to cheer up people, forgetting about Fukushima and heading for Tokyo Olympics. This is something very, very unethical and ridiculous. I'm very disappointed by Japanese politicians doing this kind of thing. And as a cultural worker, I want to proceed the real and most important issues for art and society. This is my direction. But in Japanese society has two aspects. One is maybe interesting culture to receive different kind of culture from abroad, but the Japanese people didn't invent anything, just absorbing and modifying to make a Japanese kind of culture very superficial, such as manga, anime, game, or that kind of thing. But fundamentally, Japanese people, maybe in our character, not easy to face the fundamental problems and basic things, and philosophically or ethically asking questions. This is our problem. So I want to also investigate this issue, yeah, in this project by communicating with Liminaria, Leandro, and artists in Italy. Then
Okay, thank you.
The comment. Sorry, maybe time
No,
is coming.
sorry. You.
Yeah. And then another thing, a comment by two participants on July 11th that I introduced. Both is very important. And we share the very similar issues. So we try to communicate further with them also in Japan. So also maybe you can do that kind of thing in Italy. So we can also combine those investigations together in between Japan and Italy. And after your first comments, I also agree that especially in art world, visual art is very dominant, especially after Renaissance and also after our system was established in 18th centuries. But what we share, the more, not visual, but more tactical or sound-based or physical aspects. It's invisible sometimes, it's inaudible sometimes, but we can feel. And this is something very important because in modern system, visual is very much dominant, but we have to sense the unseenable thing, visual, invisible things. And this is something very much similar to the ancient people, or maybe before modern or pre-modern people. Each people are so much keen and sensitive to environment to survive. And we also have to get back to this by also getting the help of digital technology. This is our advantage. So we can do this kind of thing by combining digital and also rediscovering our, how to say, natural senses.
Okay, Yukiko, I have also a question, further question for you that is related with the relationship between Japanese culture and rural landscape. What I could feel when I visited Japan and also generally the eastern area, Korea and Seoul, and is that there is an ongoing and rising interest about this topic of rural landscape. Since the probably I try to explain this interest with this big development you had in big towns, in big cities in Japan or in Korea. That is a technological development in the last 30 or 40 years. And probably this rising development of the cities, of the urban environments, in some way was a kind of damage for rural landscape, no, for example, for the rural environments in neighborhoods of the cities. What do you think about this topic? Do you think that Japan is rethinking about or could rethink about its model of development, and could rethink about rural areas and spaces as a new, in some way, spaces for challenging this model of capitalistic development, or this is only a utopia?
Yeah, I think in this situation, after this very bad kind of Olympics and also COVID-19, and this 1 year, there are many people started to think Tokyo is not the only city to live, but people want to have a more relax in nature and they can, for the people who can have a remote work, can also move to rural area because they have internet and also they have a nature and they can enjoy and how to say more tactile situations. So I think now it's getting a bit better because people are so much disappointed by the how to say centralized situation, like such as in Tokyo or some other cities. And yeah, but these 50 years or 60 years, especially, and the politicians and the people, also any media, was so much concentrated to Tokyo or big cities. But now, for the people, maybe it's not so realistic. Only stay in Tokyo or just sticking with Tokyo situations.
Thank you so much, Yukiko, for your intervention, for
Thank
your
you.
presentation,
Yeah.
for your work.
Yeah. Thank you.